From stopping innocent people on their way home to blocking people's cameras as they're taking photos out in public, this video will show you how the worst cops in the UK behave. Starting off, we have a guy who was distributing flyers for his business when a Cleveland police officer stopped him and started to ask questions. Moments after this, the guy took out his phone and started to record the officer, which he didn't like.
You're on camera now, that's all.
Right. Stop recording me now or I'll get an officer.
You need a sergeant down here then, because there's no law against that. Believe me. You've just pulled me over for no reason.
I've just explained the reason.
And I've told you, so am I free to go?
Right. I would like you to stop recording.
You've not presented me with no identification when I've asked you.
I'll show you my identification.
Right,
when you
it's on
stop
camera now.
recording me.
You need to ask a sergeant. Is that a sergeant? Is that your identification?
Can you switch me off?
No, you need to speak to a sergeant.
Hi, Sergeant. I've stopped a male on Birkdale Road. He's recording me. I've asked him what he was delivering. He's carrying a green bag, and I was asking what he was doing and what he was delivering. And he's got me on record.
There's no reason I need to give any details, Sergeant. I've told her what I'm delivering. She stopped me for no reason. I've told her what I'm delivering. I've recorded for my own safety for the IPCC. No, I've just been walking down the road.
No, he's just walking along. But because of recent events and everything, I just wanted to speak with him just to see what he was delivering, that was all. Just to know it was on my area.
You can just present me with 3 forms of identification and I'll be on my way for the IPCC. Because it's actually harassment.
Harassment?
Yeah. So.
Harassment?
And I've told you I'm just doing some pizzas, that's all. So if
and
I don't want you stopping me for no reason. So.
Like I said,
And I appreciate that.
to do.
Anyway, well, thanks for your help.
Yes.
And I'm free to go now, yes? And I've got this for the IPCC.
Right,
It's actually harassment, so you need to check with the sergeant. Thanks, cheers.
The lady police officer stopped the guy without any reason and demanded her ID, which he refused. She eventually called her sergeant to complain about him, but even he found the other guy right. She also didn't want to be on camera, but it is completely his right to record the cops for his own safety. Moving on, we have the following guy in Windsor who was taking photos of Windsor Castle on his camera when a police officer and a council warden approached him and stood in front of him. The guy asked him whether he was shooting for private or commercial purposes, as they needed to know for their anti-terrorism measures.
This officer here came up to me a few minutes ago and started asking questions about what I was doing and who I was doing it for.
Is that unreasonable in this vicinity?
It's not unreasonable, but I don't have to answer those questions.
Right, if you don't, then obviously we wouldn't be doing our job if we weren't a little bit.
Does this look like a rocket launcher, or does it look like a dangerous weapon?
Not having seen many rocket launches, sir, I can't comment.
Oh, come on, please don't treat me like an idiot.
Right.
Does this look like a dangerous weapon, or does my activity look dangerous or threatening to you?
Right. Sir.
Does
as
it?
I said, not having seen many rocket launches, I can't
Oh,
comment.
get on. Okay, fine. I shouldn't have used the rocket launcher scenario.
Right.
Does this look like I'm doing something dangerous, threatening, or illegal?
Right. Terrorists have been known to do reconnaissance before they attack any
And I
site.
can go onto Google, and I
Yes.
can go onto Google Earth, and I can see all of this stuff
Yes, you can,
in
but
plain
that
high
will
resolution.
be out of date because you know that is not current.
Oh, come on. You're preventing me from doing what I'm
No, I'm
legally...
not, sir.
Yes, you
I
are.
said carry on, and all I said
Right,
to
well,
you,
will you let me carry on,
Carry
please?
on.
Thank
All I
you.
said-
Because as a professional television cameraman or a member of the public, I am allowed to stand in the street and shoot. I don't need 4 police officers or wardens or whatever you are when I stop to do this. This is absolutely bloody ridiculous.
what you're doing and what you're saying is ridiculous, sir.
No, it's not.
Right.
It is not ridiculous.
Well, that's my view, sir.
What? What is it that's so ridiculous?
Right?
Please explain to me what is so ridiculous.
Attitude is ridiculous.
That I'm allowed to do this
Why couldn't you just tell my colleague what you were doing?
because I don't need to.
Okay, fine.
I don't have to. And I'm fed up with every single time that I do this of being stopped and being questioned and being treated like some kind of criminal.
Right, well, I wouldn't say you're a criminal, but I would say you're being a bit silly if you think in a sensitive area like this.
Oh, for God's sake, this is Windsor Castle. There are 1 million people around here with cameras. Do you think a terrorist would stand here with a tripod and make it bloody obvious? Or do you think a tripod would just get a terrorist would get a home video camera out and shoot?
It's obviously I'm wasting my time talking to you, sir.
You clearly are. Thank you very much. Let me get on with my day.
Soon after, more police officers joined in, and they kept on answering his questions as to how he intended to use this footage. These cops were completely wrong, as they could only question him if they genuinely believed there was a terrorist threat. They stood before the camera and did not let him complete the shoot. The following woman had parked right in front of this guy's property for 8 hours, which blocked the entrance to the house. The guy was forced to block her car out and made sure she paid a fine to him. However, the woman called on some Lancashire police officers to come and help her out. Let's see how the conversation goes on.
Excuse me? Yeah, what? You're on private property. Can you leave, please?
Just helping this lady.
No, you're not. She's parked illegally on my space.
Alright,
you
it's
don't
this
need...
lady's car. I'm sure she's made a mistake.
No, she hasn't. There's a sign there. I don't need your help. It's a private civil matter. No, well, you can help her. It's a private civil matter. You can get off our property, please. Please, yeah, stay off the property. Okay. She owes a parking fine. She's refusing to pay it. I haven't. She won't give us it. It's nothing to do with the police. It's nothing to do with the police. I'm on my private property. Look, with all due respect, because she's parked in there for 8 hours, she's not made a mistake. Why has she made a mistake? No, no parking. She said to me there, she said, I'll pay you, send me an invoice, but she won't give me her address. It's got nothing to do with the police. It's got nothing to do with you. You're just getting involved in a civil matter.
She's asked, well, why are you blocking this lady's vehicle?
Because she hasn't paid her fine.
What fine is for?
£10. It's on a windscreen. She said she'll pay it, but then she's refused to give me her address. So it's got nothing to do with the police. I'm happy to let her go from here, off my space, once she's paid her due. I'm trying to rent this premises. How can I rent it when tenants can't come and see it? I actually own the land, yeah.
Well, you
so
don't own the road, don't
yeah,
you?
so we'll have to get the traffic police then.
So right now you're on a junction, aren't you?
So what you're going to do, you're going to try and help this lady steal from me by going about road traffic?
You've got the lady's information. You've
I
got
haven't.
Her
Well,
reg,
can you get her details of her?
You've got her reg.
No, I haven't. I've got a reg. I haven't got her details.
You've got a reg. You can go through civil action that way, can't you? You know the score.
I do know the score.
Yeah.
And this is a civil matter, and you're getting involved in a civil matter.
Right now, you're obstructing this lady.
What offence is that?
Hey, you're obstructing.
What offence is that?
I don't need to go into the
Well, please go away.
Right.
I don't want your help. This is private. No. Okay. All I ask is just leave it to us. It's a civil matter. Nothing's going to happen. She said she'll pay me once she gives her address where I can send the invoice, which she's told me to do.
The guy was clear from the beginning that it was only a civil matter and the police should not be intervening. Moreover, the police officer was only defending the woman, which was surely the wrong thing to do, as she had been occupying his private property for hours. Also, this woman parked here 3 weeks prior and was warned not to park here again, but it seems she wouldn't listen.
She told me to send her an invoice, so all she has to do is give her the address where to send it. Once she does that'll be fine, all done and dusted. You're on my private property. I've asked you to get off my private property. Please get off my private property.
I'm not, am I? I'm on a pavement.
No, that's my private property. I own the land. Yes, it does.
Can you show me then?
I don't have to show you. I don't have to show you anything.
Well, stop chatting then.
Can you get off my private property, please?
Do you want me to stand on the road?
Yeah, if you do, yeah. Or the footpath over there. Yeah. So once the lady gives me her details, which she's obliged to do.
You're a stranger. You're not providing any details to us if you own this land.
Why
would she have to give you details?
Because I own the land.
You've got a registration number. If you want to take any legal action in regards to parking, you can do that civilly, and you know that.
What do you mean? I know that.
You know that.
How do I know that? What's wrong with me?
What's wrong with you?
I'm not.
Causing all this for nothing.
I'm not. She's. I've had.
It sounds like she's made a mistake. It looks like an empty unit.
It doesn't. It says unit to let, which means we're trying to rent it which means we're trying to get revenue from it, and she's stopping us getting revenue from it.
Kicks, mate, you're just weird.
Get off my car! Get off my car! How dare you sit on my car?
Doesn't look like it belongs to anyone. Can't see it.
Off the private property, please. Please, off the private property. Why are you trying to be awkward with me?
Well, because you're being awkward.
I'm not.
Right.
I'm dealing with
As
it.
a human, I probably would make that same mistake.
What parkway says no parking?
But that could be from there onwards, because it just looks like the
No, it doesn't. It says no parking. It's on this side.
Okay,
It's there.
You're unreasonable.
I'm not unreasonable. You're being unreasonable. You are acting to help somebody who's parked unlawfully. Why would you do that? Why would you help somebody who's parked on my property without my permission? Why don't you ask her for her details? Why are you helping her, not me? Somebody's parked on my property. Now you're looking for anything to get at me. Why would you do that? What's your collar number, please? Excuse me. What's your collar number? 4195. So do you think it's right that she should park on my property or there? There's a car park at the end where she's driven past.
I'm not going to engage with you.
Why?
That's the end of the matter. I'm not going to engage with you.
Why? I'm asking you why you've come out to my private property to deal with a matter on my private property, to help somebody who's parked on my private property get away. If you just give me your name and address.
I don't have to give you my details, and I'm not going to give you my details.
You're not going to give me your details, so you're happy to just park on my private property?
I'm not giving you my details.
Okay.
You need to stop.
The male cop was as clueless as possible and even tried to provoke the man by sitting in his car. The cops kept hovering on his property despite being told several times to escape it. However, they weren't saying anything to the woman involved in the incident who had caused this fiasco.
All I want is the money for the parking.
She said
She won't. She won't give me an address. She's just said I'm not going to pay you again. So why aren't you helping me?
She's just said she's not going to pay you. I'm not. I said I'm not going to give you my details.
Well, how are you going to pay me? Help the officer understand. How are you going to pay me?
Look, you're being aggressive.
I'm not being aggressive. I'm not being aggressive. I'm just getting evidence for somebody who's parked there. You said you'll pay me. How are you going to pay me? That's all I ask. How are you going to pay me? In front of the officers, how are you going to pay me?
Look, I do not feel comfortable giving you my details.
Okay.
We are stuck. We're in a rock and a hard place here. We've got an unreasonable gent here. We've parked on his land. We made that mistake, yeah. There is signs of no parking, and it is a civil matter, unfortunately.
You know,
It's £10. Right. With all due respect, no, hang on a sec. I've got a right to talk here.
So have I.
I'm telling you.
I'll speak to you in a second. Have you got the bank card to go and get?
If you ask every person down here, the problems that they have with the parking down here is absolutely astronomical. It's a massive problem, and everybody down here is fully of support of this, because people do it all the time. They park here to go there, they go everywhere, and they're always like, I'll just be 10 minutes. She's been here nearly 9 hours.
Right, okay. So she's parked there thinking...
No, there's no thought. Don't try and make excuses for it. There's no thought.
I won't engage. If you're not going to listen, we're just going to go round and say,
what's all this? I'm not...
She's made a mistake.
Yeah, and do you believe that?
I have no idea.
Well, exactly.
So if she gives you £10...
If it's a civil matter, why are you here?
Because the lady's asked for help, because she's come back from wherever she's been and she's blocked in, so she's asked
on a
for
private
help.
property.
Right, so she said she's going to give you £10.
But she's refused to tell me where she lives.
It doesn't matter. Are you going to give him... Right.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll move the car. Please don't park here again. Okay.
As it was his private property, the guy had all the right to demand money, and finally the woman agreed. The cops didn't help and made matters worse by not knowing the laws well enough. They also failed to deal with the criminal trespass of the woman and ended up trespassing on the property themselves. Ultimately, the male police officer handed the woman £10 to escalate the situation. The guy moved his car and let the woman go. It seemed pretty evident that the cop knew the woman personally and was giving her a favor. A complaint was made at the police station, but it was ignored. Next up, we have the following guy who picked up his brother from work and was about to drop him at his home when a Merseyside police van stopped right behind them. A police officer exited the van and came over to talk to them. He opened the car's door without prior notice and even called the guy an arsehole. That's when the guy started recording and asked the officer his name and badge number.
Superb, right. Is there any sort of reason why we're just being like sort of obstructive towards the police?
Is there any reason why you're pulling us over?
To you.
Is there any reason why I've been stopped?
No, I'm telling you, I've explained that to you. So is there any reason why you're being obstructive towards the police?
Just, what's your badge number?
I'm not speaking to you, mate. You
Okay, what's your collar number and what's your store station you're operating out of?
I'll speak to you once I've spoken to you before, right? Like
No, we don't even know you're a police officer.
No. I don't know you're illegally. I don't legally know you're a police officer.
We're just going around in circles, aren't we?
Because you're not answering the question.
You're not answering our questions. I'm the public servant. Sorry, you're the public servant. I'm a member of the public. You're here to serve me, not the other way round.
I'm saving you, am I?
Yes, you are.
That's your job.
That is your job, and are you recording?
Well, am I? Yeah. Well,
you do realise by your policy, you're supposed to tell me when you're recording.
It's not a domestic, is it?
It doesn't matter.
No, stop saying
you have to legally. It's on your policy. It's not in my policy to stop telling you that I'm recording.
It's not a domestic, right?
It doesn't matter.
Stop saying so I don't have to record.
It doesn't matter.
They're my force policy.
If you're recording, you have to tell the public.
But you do have to tell us your badge number.
And you're also legally obliged under your policy to tell us your badge number and your name.
Yeah.
So can I have that, please?
Have you read our force policies? Have you?
So
you're not going to answer the question?
I know my laws.
Right, should I call the police now? Because this guy's just bogus, if you ask me.
Don't swear, mate. That's just not...
Bogus?
You called him an ass.
Bogus?
Indeed, you did.
He's just sworn at me.
No, I said that is bogus.
Before you said...
You seem
the first
bogus.
thing you said is the reason why you're being an ass.
Superb, right. Is it your car, is it?
It is indeed.
I'm now starting to believe it might be stolen.
On what grounds?
On what grounds?
Well, you're not giving me any details, and I don't know who you are.
Am I legally obliged to give you my details?
I just explained to you, under the Road Traffic Act, yes you are, right? So
No, you're not.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
You have to have reasonable suspicion and reasonable grounds for anything.
Soon after, another officer and the sergeant came out of the van and approached them.
Zero.
Am I being suspected of a crime?
We don't need to know who we are.
Suspected of a crime? Am I being suspected of a crime?
Calm down.
I am listening. I'm asking you a question. Am I being suspected of a crime? Am I being suspected of a crime?
Do you want to step out the vehicle or?
No, I don't. Am I legally obliged to step out of the vehicle?
No, but you're just hanging out of it, so I just wondered if you wanted to...
Because you're leaning in.
Don't do that.
Don't do what? I'm opening my window. Do me a favour, just open your door so the sergeant can hear me. Sergeant, am I being suspected of a crime?
Well, at this moment, I don't know if you've stolen the car.
A simple ANPR check would do that.
We don't have ANPR. We don't have ANPR in the car.
Okay, so how would you find out who the registered keeper is then?
Well, we'll check details. Normal people will just give the details. If it's your car, you're insured, you've got a driving licence, we check your details.
Well, there you go. You're trying to now coerce my private and confidential information out of me, which I'm not happy with.
You just enjoy this, do you?
Is it?
Enjoy what? Are you pulling us over?
Darren Carroll?
What grounds am I stopped?
I don't know this car, right, is not stolen. I am just checking the details on the car to make sure that you are insured on it. You have a valid drive. Just listen to me for 1 second.
Something must have flagged up on your systems for you to suspect. Something must have flagged up on your systems.
See you in a bit.
Thank you. We've verified the vehicle. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Is that it, like?
Are you for real? No reason. Is this how you get your checks on a Sunday night?
Oh yeah.
No.
Go on. What section?
Clearly states.
What section? Can you stop us on there?
A member of the public has to stop under 165. I've stopped.
Serve and protect.
That's the walk of shame. That's what we call the walk of shame. I hope you're happy.
The cops quickly verified that the car was not stolen and were soon on their way. They realized they were up against two people who knew the law well and made sure to get out of there as soon as possible. The cop was abusive and arrogant and was just trying to bully them without any reason. Moving on, we have two officers from Leicester who were harassing a poor homeless man sitting on the side of the road when the following guy came over to assess the situation.
They're asking him to move, as you can see. There's a big confrontation here in Evington Road. Poor guy's been here for quite a while now and he's struggling. Officers, how's it all right, officers?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you?
I'm alright. What are you troubling this chap for here?
It's harassing homeless.
We're from.
I can now get takeaway for food from there.
I thought the council got
Well, listen.
one night on the streets here.
If you sound not welcoming when they're giving me free Chinese food from across the road.
We're giving him food. He is welcome here. He is welcome. Who's made the complaint?
The council
But what you got to remember is you're not police.
I'm asking you a question.
I'm asking you a question. You're not a police officer. You're a civil servant. Yeah.
understand that. Can you
All right.
come answer
I'm
my
gonna answer your question. Leave this man alone because you're harassing him.
Right,
You're
can
in
I
his
answer my
personal
question?
space. Problem. Go phone a police officer now. Phone a police officer. But you're not a police officer because you step away from his private space, please, and leave him alone and stop harassing him.
We're not harassing him.
Yeah, you are harassing him. Do you feel harassed?
Yeah.
Do you feel threatened, sir?
Yeah, I can't go nowhere,
Do you
mate.
feel threatened,
I come
sir?
here
Tell me on camera. Do you feel
away from
threatened?
the city centre because they kept on harassing me. I come here, I get welcomed by the community, and then now these people have turned up again to harass me.
Do you feel threatened, sir?
Yeah, because
He feels threatened. Can you
I
step
can't
away
go
from him,
nowhere.
please? Or I'll have to do a civil arrest on you. Can you step back from his personal space,
I can't
please?
go nowhere. You know what I mean? What am I supposed to do? Jump off the
Can you
cliff?
step
can
back
follow
from his
me off the
personal
cliff.
space, please? People are watching. This is my community, right? Can you step back from his personal space? You're harassing him. He feels threatened at the moment. Can you move back, please, officers?
Do you feel threatened, sir?
Do you feel threatened, sir?
Why do you feel threatened?
None of your evade is 6861. And this chap here, he's alright. This one's not said nothing. He's been understandable and I appreciate that. This one's been a bit funny. He's not stepping back. Away from this guy.
I'll move back.
Thank you very much. Can you step back, sir? Can you step back on the same dev? That's it. Threatened. He said he feels threatened and I take his word for it. Yeah? Now, if you have any issues with him, you can arrest him or you can phone the police. Has he committed a crime?
No,
I ask you a question. Has he committed a crime?
What we want to see,
I'm
we want
asking
to
you a
see-
question,
Yes,
officer.
and I'm answering.
Has he? Yes or no? Has
No,
he
he's
committed?
not.
Okay, then
And
please
what
step
we're
back.
trying to do-
Please. My friend, they're gonna leave you alone now. I'm gonna have a word with them.
The homeless guy was told to move away despite having nowhere to go. However, this guy came over and ensured the cops were given a nice lesson. The cops had nothing to say to him, and they had to do the walk of shame in the end.